Welcome to this new episode of the Alex Show TV. It's episode 363 from October the 11th of the year 2024. Today's a Friday. And today's show, as we continue this UFO trend, is going to be about the Roswell UFO crash. It's amazing in 363 episodes how much I like UFOs that I haven't spoken about the reference, crash, the reference incident on UFOs, which is the Roswell UFO crash out there in the United States, New Mexico, Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. So I have a couple of support videos to share with you, and this is going to be a short episode anyway. So let's watch the first support video, which explains in a very mainstream idea, what happened. The official narrative, the official story is that the crash never happened. It was not a UFO. It was a weather balloon. And there was a mistake on how this information was reported initially, okay? That's what this video is going to share. And then I'm going to give you my own opinion on what I found on this crash. And something that maybe you don't know, I'm not saying it's not very mainstream information, but I'm going to share apparently where this crash originated, where these UFO and extraterrestrials come from. So let's watch the first video together.
In the American summer of 1947, the Second World War had been over for almost 2 years, but it was an uneasy peace. Following the defeat of fascism, the alliance of convenience between Western democracies and communist Russia had collapsed.
Soviet Russia was expansively stabbing westward, knifing into nations left empty by war.
The United States had used atomic bombs to defeat Japan, but worried how long it would be alone in having the weapon. In this new Cold War, the US cast itself as the defender of freedom, even if that meant a Third World War.
If we falter in our leadership, we may endanger the peace of the world, and we shall surely endanger the welfare of this nation.
In America, paranoia was growing about communist infiltration of unions, the entertainment industry, and the military and government itself. And in that summer of 1947, some very peculiar stories started to appear.
Reports that strange flying discs have been whizzing at 1,200 miles an hour over the western United States.
And 3 days later,
8 flying saucers described as more like wash tubs and each about the size of a 5-bedroom house were reported today.
Further south in New Mexico, a 48-year-old rancher named Mac Brazel had made a rather unusual discovery. A large area of wreckage including rubber strips, tin foil, a rather tough paper and sticks. Mac Brazel had heard the reports of flying discs and wondered if the debris he'd found had something to do with that. He spoke to the local sheriff, George Wilcox, who in turn contacted the nearby Roswell Army Airfield. An intelligence officer named Jesse Marcel went with Brazel and Wilcox to the crash site and recovered more material. The following day, the Roswell Army Airfield, known as the RAAF, issued an eye-catching statement.
The many rumors regarding the flying disc became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Bombing Group of the 8th Air Force Roswell Army Airfield was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of one of the local ranchers and the sheriff's office of Chavez County.
The next day's Roswell Daily Record embellished that a bit with the headline, RAAF capture flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. The word disc was mysterious enough, but flying saucer suggested a visitor from another planet. Remember, it was only 9 years since actor Orson Welles had broadcast a radio play about a fictional Martian invasion that had caused something of a panic.
Of the creatures in the rocket cylinder at Grover's Mill, I can give you no authoritative information, either as to their nature, their origin, or their purposes here on Earth.
How many people really believe they were hearing news of a Martian attack is still debated. It may have just been a bit of a beat-up, but it was enough to cause Orson Welles to apologise.
Of course, we are deeply shocked and deeply regretful about the results of last night's broadcast.
After the Roswell incident, hundreds of other reports of UFOs and flying saucers came flooding in. The next day, the US Army changed its story, saying it was a harmless, high-altitude weather balloon, not a grounded flying disc. Still, Mac Brazel said that he'd picked up bits of weather balloons before, and that's not what he found this time, but he was tired of all the fuss, and he let it...
Okay, as I shared, that was a pretty mainstream explanation of what went on. And yes, it also gave the element that, of course, 1947, it was only 2 years after World War II ended in 1945. Let's remember that at the end of World War II, the United States and Russia were allies, yes, against Germany, of course. And that was changing in 1947. They were becoming enemies. And again, years after, became full-blown enemies in what is referenced as the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the United States. This is really a tough one. I'm gonna read on you. This is from user Kavamur Taigeta. I know it's pretty out there stuff, but let's read it together because I think there's a point here. I believe Trump will become partial UFO disclosure with Roswell. He already tested the waters. Pleiadians say there were 3 crafts with 3 occupants each from a planet called Sep. 1 was done by lightning and 2 flew away. 3 occupants and the craft were recovered, studied, and what is not showing there is preserved. Okay. I've heard this information from a few places, okay, that they were from the planet Sep. I also heard they were not advanced at all. The crafts and the technology of this group of 3 crafts with 3 occupants each was not advanced. I share many times, of course, I believe in alien civilizations, and I believe that technology that each of these civilizations have is many different among them. And that doesn't take the fact when you have the possibility to explore the universe, you do it for several reasons, okay? The first one is the same curiosity we have, others have, other civilizations have. So apparently this mission from the planet Sep was exploring the universe, and they were exploring Earth, and they had a kind of craft that was susceptible both to Earth military weapons and lightning in this case. The story I've heard in a few places is it was not down by a military intervention or they didn't shoot it down. It was reached by lightning and it affected their systems and crashed. Also, the information I got is from the 3 occupants on that down aircraft. 2 died upon impact and only 1 was alive and recovered, studied, and preserved, okay? Is he the one that you see in those videos, apparently from the Roswell investigations? I don't know about that. That I don't know. I cannot tell you anything. I don't even know if he survived long after that, if they needed the safe environment of their crafts to survive the environment from Earth that is different from their planet Sep. I just want to clarify this. The information from different places is that they all coincided that the planet Sep, the technology they have is not advanced at all. They were really, just to make an analogy here, just to make similar, is like the explorations that humans did 500 years ago on these very basic boats, and basically almost suicide missions. Okay, almost suicide missions. I mean, these missions, you have to understand, again, either they were looking for something, they're looking for things they need that they don't have on their planet anymore, or expansion of their planet, or they're just out of curiosity to see what's out there, okay? And they are able to go back to their planet is similar for us to make a human mission to Mars or something like that. Is basically a suicide mission. It's basically a mission you are not going to return. And a lot of the missions that humans did 500 years ago, these stories are that whoever signed up for that, the family got paid a lot by the government, the monarchies, whatever, Spain monarchy or something, because it was Spain and England doing a lot of these explorations of America, basically, and other places such as Asia and Africa. But they were very difficult. You will come back from that. A lot will die in the ship out of disease. Sometimes disease will go rampant through the ship, and half the crew will die, stuff like that. Similar stuff. I see it equally like that. They were very vulnerable. A lot of extraterrestrial crafts are invisible to the human eye, to humans. They're out there. So a lot of them in the clouds. That's what I believe. That's why you sometimes see clouds that are very strange. They are very craft-like. They're out there, camouflage. Okay, these were not. These didn't have that technology, and that's why when they were down, they were vulnerable, and apparently 2 of the 3 died. Let's watch. I'm sure you're curious on the video of Donald Trump discussing Roswell. Let's watch it together.
There are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So you're saying you may declassify?
Oh.
You'll take it?
Well, I'll have to think about that one, right?
All right.
I'll have
Well,
to think.
all right.
Short and sweet. Yes, I do think Donald Trump knows something about that. I'm not saying it's the same information, because I could easily be wrong, and all of this information could be wrong, like he knows something else. But I think Roswell is fascinating because I think they did find remainings of a craft. I first heard about Roswell mid-80s, 1986, something like that. And then what really opened my eyes to the incident was the Unsolved Mysteries episode. The original one is an excellent one. You can find it in YouTube. I didn't want to use footage from that show because I could probably get what is called a copyright strike or something like that. And I really don't want to get the show in trouble. So, but go and look at it. Unsolved Mysteries, classic ones with Robert Stack. And I believe it was season 2, episode 1, from September of 1989. And that's very well done. That's very well done. I think they do a really good effort of explaining the story of the rancher that found the wreckage and how he will try to incinerate, out of pure intuition, to bend some of this stuff, to incinerate, to break, like it's intuition to test it, okay? It's a human intuition to see, well, how much this will take, and this material was close to indestructible. Because again, as you see in the depiction right now, a lightning that strikes the ship. Again, even if this was, let's call it basic technology or not very advanced technology, it's light years ahead of whatever we have on Earth. So apparently it was very lightweight, indestructible material, not recognized on Earth, okay? All of that debris that this rancher collected was apparently collected by the military, and then the story of the balloon came. And even the rancher on the Unsolved Mysteries episode, I'm not sure if he was an actor or the actual rancher, but they shared that the rancher shared the story. That's not the debris I gave them. Okay, it was different debris. It was a balloon. Of course, they're not going to show UFO debris and tell you on camera, so you can take pictures and video of it, that is debris from a balloon. They're going to give you debris of a balloon, and the actual debris is gone. Okay. So apparently all of this, the story, okay, is all of this was collected, the bodies were collected, the craft itself, whatever it was remaining. And that's the story of the Roswell UFO crash, okay? What do I believe? Yes, they were from the planet Set. It was a very basic mission out of sheer curiosity to learn, to find a new planet. I shared many times. I think we have been visited by similar beings, hundreds, probably thousands of other civilizations. Some of them advanced, some of them have stayed here on Earth, some of them have put bases here on Earth, some of them were part of what you see in pyramids, crystals. So this story that there is a disclosure coming, that, oh, the aliens are coming. Well, maybe the aliens came a long while, and some of them stay, some of them come and go. Some of them are out there in clouds, in the atmosphere, outside the Earth. There's so much stuff going on, and if they have some sort of advanced technology, they can cloak their crafts so they're not visible to us. You could be out there in a camp, out there in a forest or something like that, out there in the sea, and you could have a craft very close to you, huge one maybe, but you don't see it. Maybe it doesn't scare you. You're out there maybe in a boat, in a small boat. Just imagine this craft materializes and it's huge. You probably die of shock. Okay. So I remember a friend kind of making fun a few years ago. If UFOs are like that, why do they show up? Why do they make contact? Well, they probably already made contact, okay? And actually, they already made contact. And they don't show themselves because they don't want you to see them. That's why I had a guest. If you speak Spanish, this is highly recommended. The show is coming in the next few weeks. Juan Carlos from Uruguay on El Show de Alex.tv, the Spanish channel. This is amazing stuff, his testimony. He has tours out there in Uruguay. You have to go to a very isolated place, 400 kilometers. That's around 250 miles from Montevideo, Uruguay, the capital. He says it's a very remote area. There is no cell phone signal. There is no hotels. There is no really, you have to live or sleep, the 2-3 days the experience lasts in tents. You have to bring your own food, canned food. You have to wash out there in the river. So yeah, that kind of experience. And by the way, it's very important, the energy of the group, and that everyone is willing to see the crafts. Because if there's someone that says that either doesn't believe it or, is doing it out of, just sheer whatever, the crafts won't show. Because they respect a primal law in the universe, which is the law of not interference. So they will show and they will land if everyone on the group, which he says around 10 people, wants it. So that's an amazing experience. If you're really interested in that, you can watch it if you speak Spanish, or on my El Show de Alex.tv channel. I include subtitles in English exactly for this kind of inter-channel mentions. Because again, I was including these chats on this English channel, the Alex Show TV, but I felt, I got some comments about it and I felt it was just too much because I've been having so many chats in Spanish. Basically 80-70% of the content out there on that channel has become chats. So it was just too much to share it here. But you can find the subtitles in English and incredible chat. It actually was a 2-part chat of 1 hour and a half each episode because it was just an amazing testimony from Juan Carlos out there in Uruguay. Similar stuff. This stuff happens, but they're not gonna show up in a city and stuff like that. Okay, I know there are some videos out there. Who knows what we're watching? They're gonna cloak and dagger all the way because they have to respect our will and they don't want to upset us and they don't want to get us afraid. That's why this is very slow. As we embrace it, they're gonna come even more. Are all aliens good or bad? Well, what does good or bad means? I already shared that. Are they involuted, evoluted? Do they want to harm us? I'm sure it's a mixed bag. Okay, so I don't know how to answer that. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this short Friday episode. If everything's okay, I should see you back on Monday. I have a great episode coming up with Chris Harrison. He's coming back to the show again. We had a great show on densities and dimensions and the law of one. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, please come back on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take care. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover your true self. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version of this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and to serve others. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover your true self? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to the universe. Simply ask, who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? You will start getting signs, breakthroughs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about this reality start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering your true self equals to real freedom. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to understand this reality, but you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will set up a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, lust, envy, violence, justice through violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only your egoic mind and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website, www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.